Hi, this is Reverend Scrappy Mania, and today I got another stamping tool. I know this is my third stamping tool, but I wanted to show you another version of this tool that I've been creating. And I like this mini one because it's nice and small. So I do have three sizes. So this is one size, and then I have this size, which is a little bigger. It's about 7.5 by 10, but the inside it's a little smaller. The inside measures 5.5 by 8, which is perfect for cards. But I wanted to create even a smaller one because I had some leftover acrylic. And then this one, it's like the mini Misty. And this is even the grid that you get at My Sweet Petunia. This is one of her downloads. So this grid fits perfect in here, and it's for her mini Misty. So this measures the inside. So I'm going to measure this. Is about 6 by 4.5, which is perfect for your cards. This is a card front, and this is an A2 card, which for the regular size it will fit perfect, and actually it's a little bigger than this one, but it will fit. You can stamp a layer, a card layer, and then you can place it on here. And this one is perfect for these small little cards. You can easily just place it here and then put your magnets and then stamp on it. So I'm going to show you how this works. It works pretty nice. So I'm going to take one of these. Oh, and I also have, before I forget, I also showed you how to create a large one. So this is a large one that I created. It's actually 12 by 12 the inside. It's perfect for scrapbooks, and it's pretty economical. Now this one was created with real wood, real thick wood. So this is solid. This one was created with wood also, but it's the real thin wood. And you can even cut these with scissors. So this wood can be cut with these Fisker mixed media scissors. They're very sharp, they're very durable and strong. You can use this to cut this. And that's what I use to cut that wood. And I also have another big tool that I use to cut wood. And with that wood, you can cut it with this solder cutter. I love this because I don't have to have my husband cut that wood. It's so thin that this cuts it pretty nicely. And this is made for heavy chipboard and lots of paper. I love that I can create my tools without having to kind of pull the big old power tools or have my husband cut them. So I'm going to show you how to create this one because I think this one is perfect for crops. It's perfect for cards. I really like it. So let me show you how this one works. So you can put your magnets, and let's go ahead and take a piece of paper. And this is watercolor paper. So you can put your magnets, and because I put a metal sheet underneath, my magnets really hold on tight there. And see, some of these magnets, this one's a little thick. I like the thinner magnets. So these are a little thicker, but it will still work. So let's go ahead and show you how it works perfect with these acrylic stamps. I'm going to get one out. And let's say I want this saying here. Want my frame there. So it'll get picked up by the lid. The hinges are nice and solid, so you can really lay it down. And that's why I like my version instead of the Misty version, because I use metal hinges. I think they're a lot better than plastic hinges. I mean, you drop the tool, if you drop her tool, it may break. And this one, I can tell you that it will not break because it's all solid. It's solid wood. It has nice hinges. It has nails and glue. So it's pretty solid. And see, I can keep inking until I get a good impression. Oops, I moved it. So I may not get a good impression now because I did move it with my hand. Let me go ahead and position this. And it's not, I moved it, so if I wouldn't have moved it, it will be perfect impression. And then let me show you how it is if I use a regular rubber stamp. And of course I'm using watercolor paper, so I should have used some cardstock, but that's what I had on hand in order to do this demo. So what you need to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the foam. Place this back with the magnet. Place my rubber stamp on there. I like this smaller version, I really do. And see, it's not perfect, but I can go ahead and keep stamping until I get a nice impression. And look, it's perfect. You can read what it says. It's not smudge or anything. So let me show you how I created this. Let me bring this, put this aside. So you're gonna need some wood or some foam or whatever. I have tons of this really thin wood, so I do like using that. And then you're gonna cut your acrylic. And this acrylic measures 6.5 by 7.5, and then the insides I made it 5.5 by 6.25. Perfect for the card front of an A2 card. So it's going to be perfect because this is going to take a little bit there. So it's perfect for this card front. And it's nice and light too. So before I do anything with the acrylic, I'm going to put that aside. What you're going to do is you're going to take some metal sheet. You're going to cut it. Now with I have this big old metal sheet scissors. It's perfect to cut this. So I went ahead and cut it to size, and I glue it with some Gorilla Glue. So I used that. Now the next thing I need to do is cut the sides. So I went ahead and measure about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to use that for the side. And I'm going to glue this on top. Glue this on top. And then this is going to be in the center. I made it a little smaller because I really don't want to lose a lot of this work area. And it's perfect for my hinges because my hinges actually fit right there in this area. So it's going to work pretty nice. Let's see the hinges. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these. So with this type of glue, this is the Gorilla Glue that dries a little quicker. You need to mist it. So let me go ahead and mist a little bit the wood. Okay. And then I'm going to mist. I'm going to go ahead and put some Gorilla Glue, and then I'm using these clamps to just clamp it down to make sure that it makes a nice adhesion on my wood, and I'll let it dry. I removed the clamps and it's nicely solidly adhered there. So what you have to take is a craft knife to clean the excess glue. And just be careful not to cut yourself. You're going to scrape the glue off. It is good to kind of go away from your fingers. And then you're going to take Let me see if I can find my, here's my sanding paper. And you're just going to sand it before you paint it. Make it nice and smooth so that way the paint will adhere, because I want to paint this. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the rest of this and over here, and then I'll be back and we'll give it a nice little paint. Oh, and by the way, notice like right here how it kind of comes out a little bit. These Fisker scissors are great for this very thin wood. See how it cuts it off? That's why I like using this wood, because I don't need big tools to cut it. I can just use my scissors. Just the Fisker scissors work. I'm not sure about any other scissors, but these are the mixed media ones, and they are advertised to really go through very thick material. And they truly do go through chipboard and a lot of different type of thickness. So I do highly recommend these scissors if you happen to find them. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on cleaning this up, and I'll be back. Okay, I got it as clean as I can get it, and I sand it so it's nice and smooth. And I didn't sand my other ones before, so I sand this one, and I like it better when it's sanded. So now I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. So I'm going to go ahead and paint everything. I'll be back. And before it dries, I'm going to go ahead and place the tape for my markings. And I'm going to try to put this so that the markings are a little accurate. So I went ahead and put the tape, and I noticed that it was lifting off, so I went ahead and put some more of this Gorilla Glue. And since the paint it's wet, it's gonna adhere very well to the Gorilla Glue. And I'm trying to make it as accurate as I can. I'll trim it and then I'll be back. I'm ready to go ahead and place my markings for my hinges, and I'm sorry about the glare, but what I need to do is mark it in these two areas so that way I can adhere the acrylic. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the areas that I need to mark. I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to mark the areas underneath. And let's look for something that can really get in there and mark those areas. Back in here. Make sure I measure it again. Okay, yep. And then what I'm going to use here is my We Are Memory punch. So I'm going to be using my We Are Memory crocodile, or whatever this is named, but it goes through this heavy chipboard, or just heavy material, and I'm using the 3/16 of an inch. So now after I make my holes, I'm going to go ahead and place the brads on, and remeasuring again just to make sure that I don't mess up on the measuring. And then I'm going to make sure I pound those heads of those brads very, very flat, because you don't want to have any kind of bulk. It does, and there is a little bulkiness in here, so the lid doesn't not completely lay completely flat on the tool, but doesn't affect any of the stamping. But if you can get it as flat as you can, that's great. And also make sure you put some glue so that way there's no give in on these hinges. That's good. Okay. So the next thing, we're going to go ahead and make the lines. And the reason why I put the tape first, because that way it's easy for me to match it up and make good lines here. With this tool, I did get the lines a little straighter. It does work, and it corresponds with the tape. And in my other tools, the tape does not correspond anywhere near the grit lines. But then I always, the last one that I made, I just forgo those lines because I even have an acrylic stamp or acrylic block that has lines, and I never ever use it. I don't really use these lines to line up other than when I want to put a title. And when I do titles, I tend to lay the title with a pencil line on my paper, and then I used acrylic block on top of it to stamp. So most of the times I don't even use these grit lines, but I went ahead and placed one here just because I like the look of it. But in my last tool, I just forgo the lines completely, and it didn't affect any of the stamping. So I have 3 different sizes. So what I've been doing is getting any acrylic that I have left over, and I've been creating little stamping tools out of them. And even though I'm going to show you, even though this one's a little smaller, this is a regular A2 card, it's a little smaller than my tool because I make it with thin wood. You can even put this here, and even though it's a little not completely straight or inside the opening, you can still stamp it. So I'll show you that in a second. I love these little ones because they fit in a purse. You can take them in your crop. Unlike my other ones, because I have this one, which is a little bigger. I mean, you can still fit one in the crop for that one. But this tool is just too large for a crop. So, and the thing is, you can also take, if I use this little one, I can still take a 12 by 12 and I can fit it, even though it may be a little longer or bigger. I can always fit it somewhere in that 12 by 12 and stamp if I need to. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use with a little larger envelope. So let me bring this here. And this one I didn't waste time putting the tapes or anything. I didn't even score the lid. I'm just going to leave it like it is. You're going to put this against the edge, and then I'm going to put these magnets. And it's very strong because I do have a metal sheet underneath. It's very strong. Even the stamping tool, the Misty stamping tool that's out there, they tend to fall out. If you notice some of the videos, they put the magnet on and it actually moves. Mine doesn't because it's really a metal sheet right there, and there's not a lot of layers. I created this one with my stamping tool, but I'm going to go ahead and put this here so you can lay it right where you want it. And it's perfect for these dry up ink. This ink is just the Martha Stewart ink, and they're kind of dry. So it's perfect for here, for these type of inks. And so you can hardly see that. So I'm going to go ahead, put a little more ink. And one more time. And then I'm going to go ahead and use some of my greens here. And I might even do a ombre effect. Let's see. Then I'm going to take some of this green. And the card is not moving. I really like this size. I think I'm going to be using a lot more this size than my other ones. And then I'm just going to tap around the edges. And look how beautiful that is. Okay. Perfect impression each and every time. Very economical to do. I bought a plexiglass. I was able to get I got like 5 of these out of a plexiglass. So it's very economical, very easy to do. So I hope I inspire you to create your own little mini stamping tool. They're very neat. I really love these stamping tools. So I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.